Can property be sold during a court case? In today's video, we will learn: can property be sold while a court case is pending? What rights does the buyer have? Does a registered sale deed provide protection? In January 2026, the Supreme Court of India delivered a reportable judgment on this issue. What is lis pendens? The Doctrine of Lis Pendens is contained in Section 52 of the Transfer of Property Act, 1882. In simple words, when litigation relating to a property is pending before a court, any sale made during that period remains subject to the final decision of the court. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Legal Information Law Insights. I am Advocate Mukund Mahajan. In the case of Alka Shrirang Chavan vs. Hemchandra Rajaram Bhonsale, a reportable judgment was delivered on 2 January 2026 by a bench of the Supreme Court comprising Honorable Justice Manoj Mishra and Honorable Justice Ujjal Bhuyan. Citation 2026 INSC 52. Let us understand this judgment step by step, with case details, legal provisions, reasoning of the court, and practical consequences. Legal concept: what is lis pendens? The Doctrine of Lis Pendens is contained in Section 52 of the Transfer of Property Act, 1882. Meaning in simple language: when a lawsuit concerning rights in an immovable property is pending, any transfer of that property is not illegal, but is subject to the final decision of the court. In short, no one can defeat the authority of the court by transferring property during litigation. The transferee, buyer, only steps into the shoes of the seller and gets no better rights. Facts of the case: 1. An agreement for sale of immovable property was executed many years ago. 2. Due to non-performance, a civil suit for specific performance was filed. 3. The suit directly involved title and possession of the property. 4. After the filing of the suit, the original owner executed multiple sale deeds in favor of third parties. 5. These purchasers claimed that they were bona fide purchasers. Sale deeds were registered. They had invested money and constructed structures. 6. The trial court passed a decree for specific performance in favor of the original plaintiff. 7. During execution proceedings, the transferees attempted to resist delivery of possession. The matter ultimately reached the Supreme Court. Issues before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court considered the following important legal questions. 1. Whether a purchaser of property during pendency of a suit gets independent rights. 2. Whether Section 19(b) of the Specific Relief Act protects such purchasers. 3. Whether a transferee pendent light can resist execution of a decree. 4. From which date does lis pendens operate, filing of suit or service of notice? Supreme Court observations and reasoning. 1. Lis pendens operates from filing of suit. The court held that pendency of litigation begins from the date of filing of the plaint, not from issuance of summons or notice. Therefore, any transfer after filing of the suit attracts Section 52 of the Transfer of Property Act. 2. Bona fide purchaser protection does not apply. The court categorically held Section 19(b) of the Specific Relief Act does not override Section 52 of the Transfer of Property Act. Once litigation has begun, no purchaser can claim protection as a bona fide purchaser, even if the sale deed is registered or consideration is paid. 3. Transferee pendent light has no independent rights. The Supreme Court reiterated the settled principle. A transferee pendent light is bound by the decree as if he were a party to the suit. Such transferees cannot claim superior title, cannot frustrate court proceedings, cannot stand in the way of justice. 4. No obstruction in execution proceedings. The court held that a transferee pendent light cannot resist execution under Order 21 CPC. Execution of decree cannot be stalled due to transfers made during litigation. Allowing such objections would defeat judicial authority, encourage abuse of legal process. Final judgment. Appeals filed by the transferees were dismissed. Decree holders' right to possession was confirmed. All transfers made during pendency were held subject to the decree. The Supreme Court reaffirmed the supremacy of the doctrine of lis pendens. Practical impact of the judgment. For property buyers: never buy property without checking. Pending civil suits. Execution proceedings. Injunction orders. A registered sale deed does not guarantee safety. For sellers: selling property during litigation is not prohibited, but does not defeat court orders. For litigants and lawyers, this judgment strengthens execution proceedings, prevents misuse of pendent light transfers, ensures finality of litigation. Conclusion. To summarize, property can be sold during a pending case, but it is sold at the buyer's risk and remains fully subject to the court's final decision. The Supreme Court's 2026 judgment has now settled the law beyond doubt. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it informative, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for more legal insights. I will meet you in the next video soon. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.